there? Who's hurting you, you silly girl? What you take me for?
I'm a Bible elf. I never spoke a word.
Shut up. Do I look like a policeman?
He made everything appear effortless. Well, he's got a magic, and that magic never went away.
We have a problem.
He was a wonderful, very edgy actor. It's a little like a thoroughbred racehorse. Gonna run, he's gonna win, but he's dancing around and kicking the stall before him.
He was very rebellious. He would never conform to what people expected him to do.
Oh, I suppose being a woman, you can't help it.
Can't help what?
Making a fool of yourself.
Every moment of his life was a performance, and every performance was a work of art. But while he gave the world dozens of indelible screen characters, Rex Harrison's private life was often a tumultuous drama, one that rivaled any of the tales he brought to the stage and screen. Reginald Carey Harrison was born on March 5, 1908 in Huyton, England, a small rural town just 8 miles from the bustling seaport of Liverpool. He was the third and youngest child of William Harrison, a handsome, flirtatious man who provided a good living but preferred socializing to hard work. His mother, Edith, was a strong-willed, no-nonsense woman and a stabilizing force in the family. As Reginald was the only boy, he enjoyed constant attention and pampering from his mother and 2 older sisters, Sylvia and Marjorie.
He was, at his own admission, a mama's boy, and he did love women. Of course, he was brought up in a predominantly female atmosphere.
In 1914, Great Britain was thrust into Europe's war to end all wars, and Reginald's life changed dramatically. The family moved to the industrial town of Sheffield, where his father took a job in an armory to help serve the war effort. But life in Sheffield was difficult for Reginald. The fields and trees of his hometown of Huyton had been replaced by gray streets and factories, leaving little to distract the 6-year-old from the bombing raids that often shook the working-class city.
He was not a completely healthy child, given to illnesses, and sadly he developed measles, which took away most of the sight of his left eye.
To take Reginald's mind off his troubles, William and Edith took him to the theater, where a whole new world opened up for the frail boy.
When they brought him home, he stood in the living room and bowed over and over again. That's the part he liked. And he decided to be an actor. I guess he liked the applause.
Always a precocious child, by the age of 10, Reginald abandoned his given name in favor of something more befitting an aspiring actor.
He decided that Rex, with its Latin connotations of being the king, of being the monarch of all he surveyed, was a much more appropriate stage name than Reginald. And of course, you got it in bigger letters on the billing.
After World War I ended on November 11, 1918, the Harrisons left Sheffield and relocated to Sefton Park, just outside Liverpool. Rex was enrolled at Liverpool College, where he immediately joined the school's Junior Dramatic Society. In 1922, when the 14-year-old won his first role in a school production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, he realized there was more to acting than applause and became determined to master his craft. In 1925, upon completing his formal education, Rex was accepted at the Liverpool Repertory Company as an actor in residence. Under the tutelage of theater director William Armstrong, the 17-year-old student did odd jobs and watched rehearsals before taking to the stage in his first professional production, 30 Minutes in a Street. Though he had little money in his pocket, the handsome young actor was gaining a reputation for being quite a ladies' man, and by the age of 19, his fast-paced lifestyle and exploits with women earned him the nickname Sexy Rexy.
Rex was what you could call a young man about town from an early age. In fact, he liked the company of rather fast women. So there was a sense of raciness in his character, of the good life, the good times, and the expensive times, so long as someone else was paying for it.
In 1927, after just 2 seasons with the company, Rex was ready to tackle London. Though hardly a stage veteran, the determined actor got his big break in a 12-week tour of Charlie's Aunt, where he received excellent reviews for his comedic performance. Setting his sights on London's prestigious West End, the ambitious actor landed small roles in Richard III and Getting George Married. But when his third West End production, The Ninth Man, was lambasted by critics, Rex was back on the road with the Cardiff Repertory Company. For the next 6 years, he lived the life of an itinerant stage actor, touring with various companies all over England and appearing in a different town every week.
Rex modeled his own manner very much on the kind of character he had to play in what you would call the society comedies of the time, where Rex would be the young rake, the young gentleman about town, the young aristocrat.
But in 1933, while at a party in London, Rex met a young honey blonde model who took his breath away. Her name was Noelle Marjorie Colette Thomas, but everyone knew her as Colette.
Colette was a beautiful English country girl and vivacious, and enchanted Rex. And it was quite obvious that he was smitten with her and she with him, and it was an obvious partnership.
She was a very well-connected girl. And I think that was part of the attraction, because Rex had a streak of snobbishness in him. He liked to feel well-connected.
After a whirlwind romance, and in spite of their parents' objections, the two were married in January of 1934.
Colette's father didn't like the idea at all. He saw through this rather impoverished young actor who came down and seduced his daughter. But Rex was well matched by Colette, because in his women, he liked that sense of sporty combativeness.
The newlyweds took a small flat in London where Rex was determined once again to break into the city's famed West End theaters. Years of touring had seasoned the confident 26-year-old into a fine comedic actor, and he quickly won small parts in various London productions. His good looks and growing reputation also earned him cameo roles in a series of low-budget films, including The Great Game, School for Scandal, and Leave It to Blanche. But pay for the stage and film work was meager, and trouble with finances often caused heated arguments between Colette and Rex. Though the couple celebrated the arrival of a son, Noel, on January 29, 1935, their marriage was stormy at best.
They used to fight a lot. I think that their relationship was a wonderful love affair that degenerated into a bad marriage, which happens.
But despite the turmoil at home, by 1936, things were looking up professionally for the hard-working actor. At the age of 28, Rex won a leading role in Terence Rattigan's French Without Tears, and the play became the most successful comedy in West End history. British film producers, eager to capitalize on Rex's exploding popularity, cast the stage sensation in the witty social comedy Storm in a Teacup, opposite a promising newcomer named Vivien Leigh.
What sort of man are you, anyhow?
Well, did you ever know a decent sort of chap who could tell you straight off what sort of decent chap he was?
I never knew a man do the mischief you've done for no reason at all.
Well, look here. If you really want to know, I'll tell you something I never told... No, I won't. Goodbye.
Impressed by his polished performance in Storm in a Teacup, director King Vidor offered Rex a supporting role in the taut social drama The Citadel, co-starring Rosalind Russell and Robert Donat. After 10 long years of struggle, Rex Harrison had become one of Britain's most popular actors. Now cocky and confident, he was ready to take Hollywood by storm. But unfortunately, another storm was coming, one which would threaten both his career and his country. On September 3, 1939, Great Britain was thrust into World War II, and for the second time in his life, Rex Harrison found his country under attack. With a noble sense of patriotism, Rex turned down MGM Studios' film contract, choosing instead to stay in England and serve his country.
Rex tried to enlist and was turned down because of his poor eyesight. So for some time, he continued his theatre and his film career, except that the war disrupted both.
By the end of 1939, when German bombing raids had closed or destroyed theaters all over London, Rex joined other West End actors and began touring the provinces. At the age of 31, Harrison was performing in the same theaters where his career had begun, but this time, he was a star. With his wife Colette working for the Red Cross and his son safely tucked away with his in-laws, Rex was living the life of a single man once again. He soon met an attractive 25-year-old German actress named Lily Palmer, with whom he had much in common.
She was a remarkably gifted person in many spheres. She was a wonderful actress, she was a very accomplished novelist, she was a remarkable painter.
In 1940, after a troubled 5-year marriage, Rex separated from Colette and set up house with Lily, envisioning a life shared both personally and professionally in the manner of such legendary thespian couples as Alfred Lunt and Lynn Fontanne and Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh. Once settled in their Chelsea home, Rex began work on the film adaptation of George Bernard Shaw's successful play Major Barbara, opposite the illustrious British actress Wendy Hiller. During the film's production, the actor had the opportunity to meet the legendary playwright when Shaw visited the set on his 84th birthday.
When Major Barbara was being filmed, Rex had a big drum in front of him which he had to bang. Shaw said, "I would like to show you how I think the drums should be banged." And Rex took direction from Mr. Shaw, maybe better than from anyone else.
Although Shaw considered Rex the premier interpreter of his work, the movie opened to mixed critical reaction and suffered from unfavorable comparisons to Shaw's Pygmalion, starring Leslie Howard and Wendy Hiller, which had been released a year earlier. During this same time, the accomplished actor toured England performing in numerous plays. He also appeared in a series of films designed to boost public morale, including the enormously popular spy thriller Night Train to Munich, starring Margaret Lockwood.
Lovely lady in distress meets a gentleman of many identities on a non-stop thrill trip. And what thrills it gives you.
Are you just going to sit there and do nothing?
Now, please, don't mix.
Don't you realize what this means?
Yes, I do. But he has a gun and I haven't, and he's got a couple of reserves next door. Who'd you take before, Bulldog Drummond?
England's entertainment industry had reached its lowest point during World War II, but Rex managed to continue working in both film and theater. He hadn't given up on his desire to serve in the military. In 1942, after appealing to the Royal Air Force Board, Rex was accepted into the RAF Voluntary Reserve.
Guiding the planes back, issuing instantaneous commands, making split-second decisions, making sure he was continually obeyed. This reinforced Rex's own arrogant character.
Brimming with confidence and pride, the 35-year-old actor decided to make things more permanent with Lily, and on January 25, 1943, the two were wed. For the next 2 years, Rex and Lily enjoyed their new life together amidst the air raids, blackouts, and food rationing of the continuing war. And on February 19, 1944, the couple celebrated the birth of a son, Cary Alfred.
Ironically, my mother says he was happier during those years when he was going off to serve on bitterly cold nights in the RAF than at any other time in his life.
That same year, his tour of duty completed, Rex was honorably discharged from military service and returned to making films for the war-weary nation. Rex and Lily made their first film together, The Rake's Progress, and audiences and critics alike applauded Rex's seductively rakish performance, as well as the obvious screen chemistry between husband and wife.
Rex and Lily were offered contracts. Rex by 20th Century Fox and Lily by Warner Brothers, if they would go over to Hollywood and make movies there.
Leaving their infant son behind with Lily's parents, the couple boarded the Queen Mary and made their way to America in 1945, along with a ship full of returning GIs. The refined British actor had accepted a 7-year contract with 20th Century Fox, and his meager officer's pay was replaced with a royal salary of $4,500 a week. The Hollywood newcomers rented a suite at the luxurious Beverly Hills Hotel, and Rex reported to the Fox lot for the lead role in Anna and the King of Siam, co-starring Irene Dunne.
To familiarize U.S. audiences with British stars, executives like Darryl Zanuck, production chief of 20th Century Fox, are signing up such actors as Rex Harrison, slated for Anna and the King of Siam.
The film was based on Margaret Landon's book about the real-life relationship between the 19th century Siamese king, Mongkut, and an English governess, Anna Leon Owens. Fearful of embarrassing himself in the challenging role, Rex hired an acting coach, and together they developed the mannerisms and high-pitched accent that brought the self-important potentate to life.
Why shall you contradict me?
I'm only trying to help you.
Is it help to say I am wrong? How can king be wrong and woman be right? I ask you that how?
I'm afraid, Your Majesty, that it has happened sometimes.
It is clear you are not scientific. Why are you here?
Because you told me you intended opening my school today.
My astrologers are fools. How can this be good day for schools? You may go.
Rex was always difficult to work with because Rex had a very clear idea of how the character should be played. He was not a man who took direction easily. On the other hand, Rex's instinct was frequently right.
Anna and the King of Siam was a huge hit and firmly established Rex Harrison as a bona fide movie star.
A major event in the world of motion pictures, the premiere of Anna and the King of Siam. On the left, Rex Harrison with Mrs. Harrison. He's the star, along with Irene Dunne, in Anna and the King of Siam.
Riding high on success, Rex found an unusual and intriguing script about the romantic notion that love transcends death. The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, in which he starred opposite Gene Tierney, cast Rex as the spirit of an arrogant sea captain who falls in love with a woman he can never touch.
How dare you say that?
Because it's true. You were fond of him, perhaps, but you didn't love him.
I suppose you're jealous because no one put on mourning for you.
That shows how little you know about it.
Some poor, misguided female, no doubt.
3 poor, misguided females, to be exact.
While Rex got along famously with his talented co-star, once again, he clashed with the director over artistic concepts, cementing his reputation as a troublesome actor to work with. The Ghost and Mrs. Muir was a box office hit, but the headstrong actor was receiving more attention for his off-screen behavior than his on-screen accomplishments.
What he didn't reckon on was that Hollywood was a very hard-working place. It was a place where you had to go to bed early and get up even earlier and do a good day's work and be very careful of the way you behaved in public, lest Hedda Hopper or Luella Parsons should spot your sins and report them in her column.
But Rex Harrison was not one to alter his behavior for the sake of convention. He began a very public affair with 28-year-old actress Carol Landis, who offered Rex the kind of danger and excitement that was missing in his 5-year marriage to Lily. Landis herself was no stranger to bad publicity. She had already married 4 times and was notorious for her numerous affairs and suicide attempts. While gossip swirled around the flamboyant couple, Rex's growing popularity remained undiminished, and in 1948, he joined forces with famed comedy director Preston Sturges to star in the wicked comedy Unfaithfully Yours, opposite Linda Darnell. But throughout the film's production, reports of the Harrison-Landis affair were making headlines, and Rex soon grew tired of both the publicity and Carol.
Carol Landis had imagined that Rex would divorce Lily Palmer and marry her. But Rex was a selfish man, and Rex certainly was not going to invite the disturbance to his home, to his marriage, perhaps to his financial arrangements by divorcing Lily.
Harrison called the relationship quits, but for Landis, the affair had become a more serious matter. Overcome by grief, on July 4th, 1948, the fragile actress took her own life rather than lose the man she loved.
She took an overdose. The result really was both a tragedy and a scandal that did Rex no good at all in Hollywood.
Heartbroken and guilt-stricken by his lover's death, Rex found himself under attack by an angry press who